So, hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss one of the very important topic, that is how to create end-to-end machine learning pipeline using Airflow. So if you are a MLOps engineer, then you must know, like, okay, this is one of the most important task or job profile which is required as a MLOps engineer. Even if you are a data scientist and aspire to be a MLOps engineer, then you must know this, like how to create ML pipeline using different tools available. Okay. So in my previous videos, I have used Kubeflow, and today I'm going to use another one of the widely used tool, that is Airflow. Okay. So let's start. So in my last video, I have already explained like how to set up and install Apache Airflow locally on Windows machine using Docker Compose. Okay, today I'm proceeding next to that one. So I'm not going to talk about installation part, but I hope you have already installed and you are ready to start building ML pipeline. Okay, so I'm sure you must have already created these folders, like inside Airflow directory, you have config, DAGs, plugins. So these are the important folders. Log will be created automatically. Okay, and you must have already downloaded docker-compose.yaml file, because that is a part of installation. And then a Docker file and requirement.txt. These are the two new file. Why we need them? So the purpose I will be explaining in a moment. Okay, so let's start with that one. So don't get confused with these. Okay, I will explain. So no worries, because I want to first explain you the problem, like what problem you will face, and then for what solution you need these file. Okay, so I will explain at that moment. So let's start with so create a ml pipeline.py file. So and where you will create, because this will act as a DAG file, or I would say directed acyclic graph. Okay, so these are nothing but the set of tasks which will be executed sequentially or based on dependency manner. So this file you need to create inside DAGs repository. So here you see I have multiple files. So forget about these two files, these two other pipeline I have created. So maybe I will explain in some other videos. But today focus on ml pipeline.py. And forget about this SQL directory. This is again not used today. Okay. So just focus on ml pipeline.py file. So you just created a blank file. I would say just execute along with me, and then you import certain libraries here. So what all these libraries are basically, so from airflow.models import DAG. So DAG is used to combine all the tasks. So kind of create a DAG, directed acyclic graph. And then date time is some operational purpose. And then so Airflow has different operators basically. So for Python related operations, so we can import Python operator. If you want to interact with some database related operators, then you can use or import a specific database operator. For example, if you are using with Postgres, then you can import Postgres operator. If you are doing some operation on bash shell, then you can import bash operator. So like what different operators are there. Okay, so I'm going to use Python operator. And next, I will be utilizing some pandas operations. So I'm importing pandas, then OS, and then these are specific to machine learning. That is from scikit-learn model selection, because I'm going to train a model. Okay, and then whatever steps are required in the training model and generating some metrics, performance metrics, all I will combine in a pipeline. So that's the overall idea of this session. Okay, so these are the libraries basically, and then here I am starting with creating a basic prepare data function in Python. Okay, so I'm assuming you are already well versed with Python, so no need to dig further very much time. Don't need to invest much time here. So this is just I'm reading a CSV file located in one of the my GitHub repository, and so and reading in DF, that is the data frame, and then I'm just doing drop in a basic operation. So here my objective is to tell you, like, you can define as many operation as you want to do here. Okay, so whatever data cleaning, data processing, everything you can do here. Okay, so my objective here is not to explain you like how data processing happens, but to tell you like how to build the pipeline, right? So that's where I'm just excluding that part. So here this is one function, and then I'm just saving output of this into final df.csu. So I'm assuming this final data frame is created for model training. Okay, next step in model training is like we need to divide this data set into train, test, split. So again, I will create another function, and there I am just kind of splitting the data frame into train and test. Okay, so what will happen? So I'm just writing some print statement so that once we are inside the log, so you can just see, okay, like where are you exactly? Okay, so I'm just reading the final data frame which I've created in a previous function, and then target column I'm defining, that is a class variable, and then in X and Y data frame. So X is nothing but the independent variables, and Y dependent variable, that is our target variable, and then X test, Y test, X train, Y train, all you can split using train tests. This is normal machine learning job, right? So here this train test split will happen, and I'm storing these X train, Y test, X test, Y test, all these data frame. I mean, I converted into NumPy basically here. Okay, I'm using the np.save. I'm saving this NumPy array. Okay, so this is fine. And then the third function is like a training basic classifier. So here I'm creating very basic classifier to give you an idea, right? So here I'm importing a sklearn again, and then I'm loading this X train and Y train, and instantiating logistic regression classifier, and then using fit, it will create train a model, and then I'm just dumping this model in model.ptl file. Okay, so this will be already again saved. Then the fourth function is like predict on test data. So here I'm just loading the model, and then I'm loading this xtest dot np now dot numpy array, and then using a logistic regression predict function, I'm just passing xtest and it will do the prediction. Okay, and output I will be save again y predict dot numpy array. Okay, and then final method is like a probe on test data. So I'm just trying to create a probability values on test data. So here it's just the class basically, and here I'm just creating the probability value. Okay, so this is again kind of another function. Okay, so no need to worry. And then the last function is like get matrix. So here again I'm just loading ytest.npy and ypred.npy. Okay, and then there this probabilities value, and then generating the accuracy using accuracy score from sklearn.matrix. Yeah, if I pass ytest ypred, so it will generate accuracy, precision, recall, entropy, and everything it will be create. Okay, so till here everything is fine. I'm assuming you all know like how to create a machine learning model. Okay, from here the important part will start, like how to create a DAG, or how to create a machine learning pipeline using Airflow. Okay, so here I will go a little slow to explain everything. Okay, so the very first step you need to do is define a DAG, that is directed acyclic graph. So using with keyword, you can initialize this DAG, and inside that we need to pass certain parameters. So what are those parameters basically? So the very first one is like DAG ID. So here you need to define a name of the pipeline, which will be visible in Airflow UI. Okay, in a moment you will see. And then at what interval you want to schedule a pipeline, that interval you can define here. So I want to schedule in daily basis. Okay, and then when you want to start, maybe I want to start it from today, so I given the today's date. Okay, and then caching is false, that's fine. As DAG, and inside that you need to create a certain task basically. Okay, so if you don't want to give as DAG or with keyword, you simply define this part only this much. Okay, and then here you need to give DAG is equal to whatever like for example, let me show you. So there are options to do. So what you can also do, so instead of with, you can have something like this, and you don't need to have this, and using DAG is equal to DAG, you can assign. Okay, so like this, maybe DAG1, that is a keyword, like this. Okay, you can do, and then you need to have this like this. No indentation is needed, and then you can comment this part. Okay, then error will go. So like this also you can give. In that case, you need to define DAG here. Okay, but let's go in the previous manner. So that's okay. So this is also, I just showed you like another way basically. Okay, so here now I initialize this DAG, and then inside that I am creating a different task. So the very first task, like whatever methods we have created here, so like 4 or 5 methods we have created, right? So now we need to stack all these 4 or 5 tasks. Okay, so that they can execute in a sequential or dependency manner, whatever we define. So the very first task is like prepare data. To prepare data, so here inside task ID, you can define any task ID. Okay, and this task ID will be visible in your ML pipeline in Airflow UI. Okay, so whatever name you want to make it visible there, you can define that name. And then Python callable, so it give exact method name which you have defined above. Okay, so this is the way you can define the task. And similar way, you can define all the tasks which are which you want to create. So the next one is like train test split, and then training basic classifier, and then we want to predict on test data, and then we want to also know the predicted probability value, right? And then we want to generate the metrics. So here we have defined all the tasks, right, inside that DAG, right? All tasks are defined, and now we want to create a manner or on which sequence we want to execute these tasks, right? So here I have defined like, okay, start with task prepare data. Then next you want to run this one, then next this one, then this one, and then this one. So here all will run in sequence, okay? Because there is a dependency on previous task. But suppose, let's say, I'm just copying this here, okay, for your explanation purpose. Okay, suppose I want to run these two tasks together. Okay, so we can define like this. So now what will happen? After this task, these two tasks will run in parallel. Okay, so these both the tasks are dependent on this only, right? So whatever output is produced by this task, this might be utilized by this and this together. Okay, so there is no dependency for this task to run after this. So that you can also do. Okay, but here there is no dependency. In our case, all will run sequentially. So that's where I have defined here. But that part also I told. Okay, so now your pipeline is defined. So you know what is the advantage of Airflow? In Airflow, workflows work as a code. So everything is customizable. All the workflows, all the tasks you can define in Python file.py file. Okay. And then you can run in UI. So how you run in UI? So the another important step is like you need to start you need to initialize Airflow. Okay, how you can initialize? So see here, docker-compose.yaml file is already available here, which you have downloaded from the Airflow website. Okay, latest release. In my last video, I have shown explain all these steps, right? So now, if you run docker compose up, so it will initialize the Airflow and respective services. So what are the services? Basically, if you go docker-compose.yaml, so here these services are defined. So what it will initialize? It will initialize a Postgres database, it will initialize Redis, it will initialize a web server, and all different services it will initialize which are required to run Airflow. Okay. And in this case, we are not using Postgres database, but if you are using Postgres, then we can utilize that as well. Okay. Now coming to this Docker file and requirement.txt part. So here, if you see in our ML pipeline, we are using scikit-learn, right? Or any other specific library we might use. Okay. So here we are using only scikit-learn, and this scikit-learn might not be available here in your default image. So if I show you here, so by default, what is the structure of Docker Compose? Basically, if you have downloaded, it will be like this. So it will try to initialize this particular image, Airflow 2.8.1 from this. Okay. And here, it might be the case this while building this image in that Docker file, your specific packages are not defined. Okay. Then if you do the docker compose.up, then you might see error in the DAG itself, like, okay, scikit-learn or sklearn is not available. So for that, if you want to install a specific packages inside that cluster, so what you can do, you can comment this line. Okay, and you can uncomment this line, and then now you need a Docker file. So now that's where I have created Docker file in the parent folder, and here you can define the Airflow version, which version of Airflow you want to install, and simultaneously you can also define the copy the requirement.txt file, and inside requirement.txt file you can put all your libraries which you want to install along with that in the same cluster. Okay, so now if you go to requirement.txt file, here I have defined scikit-learn, matplotlib, numpy, and pandas. Okay, whatever you need, you can define all the libraries here. In the same cluster, it will install all the libraries. So that's the advantage of using Docker file and requirement.txt like this. Okay, and make sure you comment that line, this line, otherwise it will install from this, and you just uncomment this build. So it will start building this Docker file. Okay, and now the moment you do docker compose.up, and make sure before running this command, your Docker desktop is up and running. Okay, here. So if you are doing first time, then in your case in Docker desktop, so you might see the empty containers, but in my case, because I have already ran Airflow, so one Airflow container is shown here. Okay, but if you have used Airflow previously, just stop that here. It is already stopped, so that's where it is asking to start. But if it is running in your case, you can stop that one. Okay, so that you can start it freshly, because we need to build from here. Okay, I don't know if it is available in your case the last time how you have built, right? So we want to build from this, so that's where now you run docker compose up. So now I'm hitting enter, and it will start initializing that one. And here if you monitor this log, this command prompt output, right? Terminal output. Then here you see in your case, if you're running the first time, it will be building and installing all the libraries from requirement.txt, and it will show here one by one. Okay, so I have already ran, so it will take from the cache, because container is already available there. It will simply start that container. Okay, but in your case, if you are running the first time, here it will install everything one by one. Okay, and make sure there are certain issues in older version of Airflow like 2.0.1 with SQLite, SQL Alchemy thing. Okay, so make sure use the latest version, that is 2.8.1 I'm using. Okay, so if you are also using 2.8.1, then everything will work fine as expected, as I'm showing you. Okay, so now if you go to Docker desktop, so here you see like previously it was asking to start, but now it has already started. So now you see, so all the like Airflow initializes, scheduler, triggerer, web server, worker, Postgres, Redis. I've explained all about all these web services in my installation video. You can refer that one. Okay, now you see all the services are up and running. So let's see, if you click on this link, then it will open the localhost, Airflow from localhost. Okay. So if you are running the very first time, then in your case, this window will appear, and here you can do Airflow and Airflow. Username and password is Airflow. Okay, and then you can do the sign in. What happened? Invalid login. AIRFLOW. This is also Airflow. Okay, so if you just sign in, yeah, it will work. So now here, if you see in place of all, so here by default there are many DAGs are available. Okay, many pipelines are available, but forget about all these pipelines. You need to focus whatever you have built. So if you here, if you go into your code and go to mlpipeline.py file and go inside DAG part, then you will see what name you have defined. So here we have defined ML pipeline demo. Okay, so let's search with this name. So if you search with this name here, filter DAGs by tag or search DAG. So here if you search, see ML pipeline demo is available. And now if you select that one, it will redirect you to here. Okay, so now if you see, so this is our ML pipeline, and if you click on graph part, then here it will show all the steps which you have created. See, first we have created prepare data, then train test split, then training basic classifier, then predict on test data, then predict probabilities on test data, then get matrix, right? Everything is there. Now, so these two lines you see, like I have already executed them. Okay, but I will execute freshly. So now if I just click on this part, trigger DAG, okay, so it will trigger the DAG. So now if I just click on this, then it will start running. So now you see it is running. So this third block will come in, and if everything is fine, then it will run successfully. You see, so this step, so prepare data step, this ran successfully. This test split also ran successfully, and now it is running training basic classifier. So this also got successful. Then let's see predict on test. This also got successful, right? So if you go to graph, so here you will see these parts are executing. Okay, so all parts are successful. If I click here, then it will show the DAG is specific to this one. Now you see green, 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 all are green, right? Everything ran successfully. Now, if you want to see the output of a particular steps, then you can simply click on that step, and then here your log will appear. And inside log, you can see whatever you have printed. Okay, so for example, in train test split, so let's see what I have printed in train test split task. So where is train test split task? This one, right? And here I have saved this and then printed all xtrain, xtest, everything I have printed, right? So if you go here, so here these are available, right? So, and data is also available. So like this CPL and CPL, everything, right? This is xtrain, so this is xtrain data, and then this is xtest data. See xtest, right? So whatever you print there, it will be available in the log. right? And now if you see, like we are also storing certain files. For example, this we have stored, and then final df.csv, this we have stored. So where this is stored? So this will be stored inside your cluster. Sorry, inside your cluster. Okay, and there will be a volume created. So if you see here, Airflow Pro, so this is the volume it has by default created, and inside that it will store all the files and everything. Okay, so now if I go to the container, so here you will see Airflow worker, and if you go to this container and open terminal, okay, and now if I do ls, so here you will see like final df.csv is created, okay, and all these ypred, ytest and everything it got created, okay, and it is stored here. And if you do pwd, so this is inside opt airflow in this directory. Okay, so now this pipeline ran successfully. And now if you see here, if you go to the DAGs again and go to the active, then here you see, so it is scheduled on daily frequency, and we have started on 18 and this is the current run, so current time on the server, and then this is the daily. So if you hover here, so night 12 o'clock it will run every day. So that's how it is scheduled. Okay, but if you want to manually run this, then using this you can trigger this tag, right? And then if you go inside that one, and then you want to see the particular run output, if you click that one, or first one you want to see, okay, you can come here and you can click on the log, and then you can click any step, and then you can see the logs if you are interested in the logs, right? And you can download the log as well for some analysis purpose. So this is how you can create a ML pipeline and schedule ML pipeline, right? It's very simple. So all these Python related function you can create. Then you second step, you can create a DAG, and then inside DAG you can bind all the tasks. Once you bind, you define the dependency, and in that dependency manner it will run. Okay, so this is all about today's video. And most importantly, guys, so I was struggling in the beginning, like, okay, this scikit-learn package was not available because I was using this image by default, the default Docker Compose provider. Okay, provided. So there are two options basically. You can create a Docker file and requirement.txt, and you can start building from there, or you can install those packages inside your container in the terminal itself. That also, but that is a temporary option, right? But the better solution is like build from this Docker file. So this is all about creating a machine learning pipeline using Airflow. I hope you learned something today. And if you have any doubt, then please feel free to ask using the comment section and share your thought as well. So thank you.